Hello, I'm back. So, I've had a bit of a think about my last video and I've decided to do some more. So here I am. So this will be a review of WCW Starrcade, the Lethal Lottery Battle Bowl from December the 29th, 1991. Now, you're going to have to bear with me on this because it's a very odd pay-per-view. It's a very structured but bizarre pay-per-view. You'll have to stick with me. You don't have to, but it's going to take a while. So the premise of, just to give you a bit of background, the premise of the Lethal Lottery is there'll be 40 wrestlers split into 20 tag teams. There would be 10 tag matches, and the winner of each match would then go into a battle royal known as Battle Bowl. More on that later. So, here are the matches. So there was just to explain about Lethal Lottery, it's a random drawing, apparently. So, the random drawing was done on the side with Bischoff, Missy Hyatt, and former WCW United States champion. By the way, I'm not going to stay while I'm the United States champion is Macklin TA. I'm not going to call him United States Heavyweight Champion or World Television Champion. I think that's plainly ludicrous. I'm just going to, because it's stupid, in my opinion. So, first match was Michael Hayes of the Freebirds, and his tag team partner was one half of the WCW United States Tag Team Champions, Tracy Smothers, and they took on Marcus Alexander Bagwell and one of the other Freebirds, Jimmy Garvin. And okay match. Bagwell looked quite good in this, considering how he became and what he did after this. But yeah, and him and Jimmy Garvin got the victory by pin. There was quite a funny bit towards the end where Garvin and Hayes are pushing each other. But so Bagwell and Garvin go through to Battle Bowl. Next match was the WCW Television Champion Steve Austin and the WCW United States Champion Rick Rude taking on Heavy Metal Man Hammer and Big Josh. And the winner, obviously, was Steve Austin and Rick Rude following the Rude Awakening, and they get the win by pin. Next match was the one half of the WCW World Tag Team Champions, the actual Dustin Rhodes, and his partner was Richard Morton. He was a heel, by the way, Morton, at this point. And their tag team opponents were Larry Zbyszko and El Gigante. Now, this is it's just a terrible match. And so basically, the whole match, Larry Zbyszko, it wasn't very long, this match, but Larry Zbyszko was shouting at El Gigante what to do, and El Gigante, being from Argentina, didn't understand what he was saying or couldn't be bothered. So basically the end came when Gigante just basically had enough of Larry Zbyszko, and that was that, really. And Dustin Rhodes and Richard Morton picked up the pin and go through to Battle Bowl. Match number 4 was, at the time, the world's strongest man, Bill Kazmaier. Does anyone remember him? I don't. And Jushin Liger. And they took on Diamond Dallas Page with really long hair and Mike Graham. And Kazmaier and Liger won this after Kazmaier threw Liger onto DDP and got the win. Match number 5 was the WCW World Heavyweight Champion Lex Luger, and his tag team partner was Double A Arn Anderson, and they took on Terrence Taylor and the Z-Man. Z-Man being Tom Zenk, former TV champion. And Luger and Anderson won this quite easy, really, but they go for it. Match number 6 was the other half of the WCW World Tag Champions, that's Ricky Steamboat. His tag team partner was Todd Champion, and they took on Cactus Jack. And there's a story here. So they announced that it'd be Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker that would be tagging with Cactus Jack. But then in the dressing room area, Abdullah the Butcher decided to wallop Buddy Lee Parker over the head with a stick, and then rammed his head about 4 times into the locker. And the whole match was basically Cactus Jack versus Steamboat and Champion. And a little bit of seeing Buddy Lee Parker crawling to the ring. He did eventually come to the ring to be pinned by Ricky Steamboat. So Steamboat and Champion go into Battle Bowl. Bizarre that they made Buddy Lee Parker do all of that just to get pinned in 5 seconds. Personally, I think it was to turn Buddy Lee Parker at that point. But I don't know. I think it was also to show that Cactus Jack and Abdullah Butcher were completely and utterly crazy, which they were. Match number 7 was Sting and, bizarrely, Abdullah the Butcher against Flying Brian and Bobby Eaton. This is really weird, this match. This is probably one of the weirdest matches I've ever seen, because basically the partners didn't like each other. Abdullah Butcher kept attacking Sting. He attacked him before the match. The storyline was going that Lex Luger paid off a while back Abdullah the Butcher and Cactus Jack to basically take out Sting. So, well, that didn't work, obviously, because he's walking in this. They took, and Flying Brian basically came to Sting's aid. Bobby Eaton was just Bobby Eaton, really, one of the best. And at the end of the day, bizarrely, Sting and Abdullah the Butcher won this. Yeah, a bit weird, but okay. Match number 8 was one half of the Steiner brothers, that'd be Rick, and he was tagging with this Night Stalker. Now, I don't know who the Night Stalker was. He came down the ring with the Diamond Stud, who didn't wrestle because his arm was in a thingy, shoulder thing. I don't know what he's called. I've never wrestled. I've never hurt my shoulder. Touch wood. And they took on Big Van Vader and Mr. Hughes. And some good high-flying spots. There were a lot. No, there wasn't. I'm lying. Vader and Hughes got the victory here. And they did actually look quite good together as a team. Match number 9 was the other half of the Steiner brothers, Scott, as his partner was Firebreaker Chip. And they took on Johnny B. Bad and Arachnaman. Yeah, that's right. They had a man dressed in what looked like a Spider-Man costume, but like a different colour, not to get involved in a bit of legal issues. And Steiner and Firebreaker Chip got the victory. And then the final match of the tag matches was Ron Simmons and Thomas Rich taking on the other half of the WCW United States Tag Team Champions, Steve Armstrong, and his partner was PN News, who was this big guy who was a rapper. Yeah. Didn't work for me. Done better by the WWF a few years later with Mabel. Anywho, Simmons and Tommy Rich went through to the Battle Bowl. So, there you have 10 winners, and that's 20 people in the Battle Bowl. So, let's just explain the Battle Bowl. Basically, it's like a Battle Royal, but not. So, you've got 20 wrestlers. They start in ring 1. They're all battling each other over. So, basically, to explain this, you would have to be thrown between. There's 2 rings. So you have to be thrown over one ring and into the other. It was a mess, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if Jim Herd was on crack when he came up with this idea. Probably. That's my opinion, not a stated fact. I don't know. It was just bizarre. This weird. Why don't you just have a 20-man battle royal? Which is ring 1, ring 2. It's weird. Anyway, so you throw people into the other ring, and as soon as you go in the other ring, they start battling, and if you get thrown over that top rope, you are eliminated. The winner of ring 1 then waits for the ring of ring 2, and then they have a match, as it were, and the winner of that wins the battle bowl. So, ring 1 was won by the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the Total Package, Lex Luger, unsurprisingly. And then they were battling each other, and then Vader went out, and Mr. Hughes went out, and then like basically it came down to the final 4 in ring 2, which was Sting, Rick Rude, Austin, and Steamboat. So Sting got rid of Austin, and then Rude and Steamboat got rid of each other. But before Sting could he's been beat up the whole show, by the way, so he's out of there. So before he could even think about taking on Luger, Rude comes in and gives him the Rude Awakening. Oh dear, what could that mean? Well, it actually was furthering their storyline, because Sting seems to be in a three storylines at this point, because obviously you've got Luger, and then you've got Austin, you've got Rude. It was weird. Seemed to be having multiple storylines at this point. So at that point, so Sting was out of it. Then Sting and Luger took. Excuse me. I've got COVID. Just to say, Sting v Luger. It was okay. The ending of it was all right, but it was a bit obvious. Obviously, Sting won, so it was weird at the end, because Sting wins, and then JR and Tony Schiavone, who were on commentary, we're going, oh, Sting should take on Luger, and then we're going, oh, but Sting wants his US title back. Like, huh? He's just eliminated the world champion. What? Eh? So overall, it wasn't very good. I'd probably give it a 5, maybe a 6, pushing it, but no. At this point in time, WCW was, well, not very good, to be honest. Obviously in the summer, just to give you an idea. Ooh, look at that. Just to give you an idea, this is where Flair went to the World Wrestling Federation, named himself the Real World's Champion. Remember that? That was great. But this was, this is WCW. Not really, from my vantage point looking in, it. God almighty, it didn't look like they had an idea what they were doing at that when they just threw some matches together. This idea, this pay-per-view, was terrible. I don't know whose idea it was. Probably hers, but it was rubbish. It's a terrible idea. Paris is good. They didn't think it through, because it was just it was just weird. For me, it didn't work. So 5.5 out of 10, maybe 6 at a push. But okay, nothing to write home about. But that's WCW Starrcade 1991. There may be some TV shows I'll be reviewing, hopefully, if I can get to see any of it. But generally, that'll be pay-per-view. So the next thing up on the slate should be the 1992 Royal Rumble. Oh yes, that Royal Rumble. But until then, we'll see you at ringside. Thanks for watching.